this Fortnite video, we are going to showcase some of the features in the newly mode playground feature. Now this is a limited time effect, limited time mode, and this is kind of different than the other battle royale modes in the top of title. So what makes this different is that this mode is only limited, obviously, and we can usually prepare pressures. So I never really played Playground. I heard about the news saying that it was a hard to play mode. When this game, when the mode was first introduced, apparently, the Epic Games inserted Playground mode for the first time. Then they actually took it out later on. Then later on they actually put it back, and then they actually took it out from the servers. I wouldn't know. It's kind of inconsistent, but I wanted to actually showcase this mode because in case they actually want to, take this game out from the store, I might as well play it to you. Also, this is kind of different because you don't really get a lot of limited time features, so you could usually just play your own contents. Also, the game is kind of laggy, so I don't usually expect this to obviously make this new. Now, I will give you a forewarning, the game is kind of laggy because my internet connection is not that superior, and it's not even that great. Now, the only reason why I wanted to playtest this mode is because this mode is not really available. This is going to be a limited time event, so frankly, you don't really see this mode a lot. And frankly, we don't even see any ice storms, so we have 54 minutes ahead. So we can play this mode for 54 minutes to a harsh consent, and you can still spell to a harsh consent. Now what makes this difference is that you could actually get wood easier, and it's actually faster to even get Artist Surprise. They make it easier to even get Artist Surprise because they want you to actually build. It also is a great way to actually scout, as in to see which one has. I want to know, but if you really want to know which golden chest it is or what it is so far, this is one of those type of modes you could try. I don't usually care about Fortnite, but I heard that the playground mode is kind of infamous for being rarely played, and you don't really see the mode as often as you should. So that's why I'm taking advantage of this mode, because frankly, this is the 4th of July, obviously, and apparently I forgot to say Happy Independence Day. Of course, I'm not that interested in the whole Independence Day itself, especially in New York City when it's usually overcrowded, but this is pretty much playground mode. You have 54 minutes left to build wherever the hell you want, and this game is kind of free. You can also play with your bodies, but I beg to differ. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's one of those each play favorite, but I wouldn't know. It's really easy to even get resources in this mode because you can see that it doesn't take me a lot of time to get resources and force grants. Yeah. So the way I know about playground mode, I guess right from the beginning, is that it was actually difficult to find. There was some reports of players trying to get access to playground mode, but Epic Games can't take it in and just put it in and take it out. There was no consistency with the map, because frankly, if I want to play the official battle royale modes, I might as well try to play test out. The truth of mine is that I don't really want to make the same exact videos for Fortnite, because I don't really think there's really that necessary to replay the same exact game. As I said, as a gaming channel, I tend to play different games at my own leisure, and I don't usually think that playing the same exact game is really necessary, because I just think that it doesn't really. I think that does takes away from. I mean, it's not as if I hate Fortnite. I mean, it's a pretty average game, but I don't usually want to give it too much credit to some degree. I mean, I noticed that it's really easy to find golden chests these days, and you could just find all these chests on your own degree. I don't know, I guess I should kind of practice, but the thing is that I already did play the first few minutes of the main base games, as in the main mode, and I already did play Fortnite to some degree. I'm just trying to find the save the world scenario at it so far. Granted, I never see the whole point, but I'm trying to find the best spot to even build. It may be playground mode, but I'm just trying to find the best spot so far. Honestly, the only thing that the building mechanics are actually useful is if you try to build some defenses. But talking about the game's netcode and the Mario item fetching, I figured that the Nintendo Switch version is way superior. Because if you didn't notice, the Nintendo Switch has a better netcode compared to the PS4, and I frankly don't understand into why, but you can see the Mario item I'm facing with. Now, it's not because of my continuity. Even though I was supposed to get a new model, but I try to have some patience the best that I can. And I don't know. They actually want you to actually playtest this to actually see what was so new. Gameplay wise, it's just one of those type of titles where I don't know. And really, it's such a shame that this has to be a short video because, I mean, try to find people to play with and try to provide commentary is also difficult. I guess we could build here, I guess. I heard that in the Fortnite community, the wood is actually easier to get in playground mode. So I guess we could build a house. Even though I don't really care, but I'm trying my best to add some commentary as much as possible. Because this shit is actually limited to some degree, and so we have the door. Alright. Now that I mention that, I think that the Fortnite mechanics are kind of similar to Minecraft. I know it's kind of generic, mediocre to even say, but hear me out. I think that the whole problem with the whole building mechanic in Fortnite is that it takes huge reminiscences to Minecraft. Now, I'm not that much of a Minecraft elitist, but I say this because a lot of times when they added building mechanics and crafting system, they technically tried to whip off the whole mechanic from Minecraft as a whole. Now I have to admit I'm not that much of a huge building fan. I think that the majority of the times when I see games that have a similar building mechanic, it just shows Minecraft ripoff as a whole. I mean, as I said, I want to give this game a chance, but to consider the fact how overpowered weapons are, I can't really take this seriously for all my heart's content. It's really hard because I don't really expect this game to be highly popular to some degree. And really, you need a lot of space to build, but I don't know, 54 minutes maximum and try to add some commentary is just so bizarre. I just don't expect anything. Anywho, I don't usually expect replaying the same game. I probably might play another Street Fighter 2 title from before. And possibly afterwards I might be able to show some content I never really got the chance to, and actually show some gameplay. Because I don't really want to replay Fortnite as a whole. I think that playing the same game is actually too repetitive. I mean, part of the problem I have with the Fortnite community is that they usually don't really try other titles. And the whole problem I have so far is that they usually play the exact same game. I get that Fortnite is actually one of those popular IPs, but to be fair, I don't really think that the whole game should be on any praise. Because ever since this game first came out on its vanilla stage, on its own alpha stage, you see a lot of Fortniters making the exact same content, and you rarely see any games, hell, any new titles being played by them. So it was always rare for them to actually try new content to some degree. And you can't really blame them, but I just really think they should add some form of variety to the mix. It's not as if I really hate Fortnite. I find the game to be pretty much average. I don't really blame the community because that's what Epic Games was trying to cater to. But man, if it's not so generic, I think that the whole problem with the whole title is that it's becoming so overrated to the point. I try my best to even take this seriously, but at some point, it's really getting difficult to take this seriously. I mean, keep in mind, I think that with Fortnite's popularity, they only make it so far because of advertisement and actual counterculture. It's becoming so much of a apparent point that the game has been famous for sad reasons. I don't portray myself as I don't tag myself as a Fortnite YouTuber because I hardly see the whole point of making the same exact content, and also the whole Fortnite video trend on YouTube is becoming more clickbaity. I mean, we have FouseyTube and RDA and Ninja, the most overrated YouTubers to be existed. I think you actually get the whole point into why I never wanted to make the exact same content. It's too repetitive, to be honest, and I don't usually think that most of my demographic who actually watches my channel for 3 years is actually gonna try making the same videos on the Fortnite's name. It's not so repetitive, and I let YouTubers milk the game dry. I can guarantee you there's so many YouTubers that will make the game dry. And I would rather play the game on, let's say, the Twitch rather than the PS4 because, my god, the netcode here is so bad. As if I never knew that the netcode in this title would be so bad to the point where it would be impossible to even play this. But you can buy now, it's becoming more of a pain in the ass to even download. And I say this because I never really care about Fortnite. Not since any millennium. So in a conclusion, no, not any conclusion. In theory, I don't usually think that this game was innocent. I mean, Epic Games is being sued by the same creators of H1C1 and PUBG, so you can tell that the game is not going to last long. With the whole game being sued by the same company that made PUBG, really, I don't really expect the game to be that much surviving. I mean, I would say that if there was a chance that the game will survive, I will. But keep in mind that I'm not that much of a huge Fortnite player. I'm not that big as RDA or Ninja or Dr. Disrespect. I'm just a small channel trying to make some residue for my time. If you catch my drift. And it's kind of strange how this mode is kind of this mode has to be mostly difficult to play. Because frankly, I never understand into why this one has to be so difficult. I mean, try to get more rewards in season. Well, I mean, when that's happened, I did not expect this to happen. Yeah. So bear in mind, if I really care about the whole title, I will, but I just don't really care about the whole game so far. I mean, I can see why Playground mode is actually the most difficult to play mode of all times. They keep taking it out and putting it in and taking it out in consistency. But I also don't think that the whole netcode should be that much concerning. Or at least in my case, it should. because it would be so difficult to even play the game mode, and this was a highly recommended mode based on the Fortnite community. I wouldn't even know why, but apparently people really enjoy this type of mix. The only thing I had to do is just try to be inconsistent. Well, when I'm playing playground mode, I think I would rather build a maze, or I would rather build a tower, because I don't want to go into detail yet. And I would rather just make something simple, because I don't really see a lot of players playing this, or at least I'm assuming it has something to do with my netcode, but I wouldn't know. So as you can see, I actually am making a couple of progress so far. What was once a simple construction site is now becoming a huge monumental project. If it wasn't for the lag, then maybe I could actually try to live stream this and try to make a video of it. But I can't because the lag is so bad. I'm supposed to get a new modem because my cable company keeps it on a 5. I don't usually want to destroy all my progress that I built up. And when we're doing that, we might as well test some weapons, because this game mode is actually give you a chance to actually test out all the weapons you couldn't do otherwise. Kinda nice of them, but I don't usually expect anything. Usually in normal play that was not playground, I tend to actually try to get to the point, try to build Sato, I try to build protection. One of the reasons why I usually do this a lot, because most of the time the whole game seems to be mostly too cheap to the point. And since every gun in this title is so overpowered, you can't really bypass the whole concept, because this game is usually set around try to be the first one to live, which I think is actually kind of mediocre, but whatever. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. I was gonna play Fortnite on an arcade stick made the Holy Fire Stick MIDI Pro, but I realized that that's kind of stupid because this game requires you to use the left analog stick to even play. And since you need that type of title, you need a lot of maneuver to even progress. And frankly, I could say I'm making a huge amount of progress that I'm doing so far. And it's really to get bricks, apparently. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, besides Fortnite, happy Independence Day. And maybe about some even post Independence Day videos already. And even though Donald Trump was the president of the United States, I still don't care about politics. I would want to care about politics, but it's such nothing but a joke to me. From this point on, I think that the whole problem with Independence Day is that we celebrate our independence to a guy that take away on independence. Kind of ironic, but I don't really expect any remorse from a president that cites anything as fake news. But that's my opinion. And the gameplay is so difficult to even produce. You get back now. I just started ways that I didn't really do anything on my 4th of July maneuver. It's not that I actually don't care about it. It's just that I don't really see the whole point of the 4th of July event. Really, I just don't care about Independence Day exactly. As a kid, I never really cared about the actual 4th of July. Because the last time I went to a show that was apparently the 4th of July, I just didn't really kill. Sorry, I just lost my track. Apparently, this seems to be a black hole, and it seems to be expanding to a point. Okay, did I notice that before? That's kind of weird to say the least. I never saw that rift before. And it seems to be expanding the more time goes on. Wait, I think I actually saw a trail, I saw some gameplay clips about a rocket flying in the sky, and there was a rift that was expanding. I guess that was the start of season 5 to be east, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know about the entire context of the rift. I never really heard about it. My only best bet is that it was a preview for season 5, because the last time we have season 5, the last time we had season 4, sorry, before the start of season 4, there were a lot of theories that it was actually a sign that the whole thing was about a meteorite crashing down on the map. In fact, a lot of Fortniters, which I'm gonna call, knows about those changes, and it does know it straight off the bat. I didn't really care about it because I didn't really expect this to be a huge monumental point, but a lot of people are talking about the rift, and it's kind of weird to even say the east. But time will tell, because they usually do that a lot when it comes to new seasons. Wherever Epic Games want to introduce a season, they usually want to do something about the end of the world. And when it comes to meteorites, they want to add new content. Of course, this does mostly new skins for the IP, and there's nothing really special about it. So I guess this is just an introduction or a preview of season 5. And since season 4 is ending in 4 days, it could be a sign that season 5 will start pretty soon as we shot. And I don't usually want to play Fortnite for the middle of the channel. I usually want to play different titles that I never heard of, because I think it's only fair to play different titles that I never heard of before. And it didn't really make any sense to even play the same game just to get monetization or ad revenue. Kind of weird, but I guess you could say that I'm not one of those popular Fortnite YouTubers that gets more views and subscribers than the rest, but I hardly really care about the amount of views I have. I don't really care about anything else. I don't know what's wrong, but yeah, in case you didn't know, I'm watching WWE on Monday Night Raw. Trying to catch up on my trying to catch up, and it seems like I had a lot of content to cover. I should try to be careful, try not to build too much, because I usually take 4 damage from this title. And based on experiences, I play a lot of matches of Fortnite to some degree, and I don't usually want to take 4 damage and use my progression. It's kind of hard to actually not die. Oh, sorry. It's kind of hard to even play this and watch Hulu at the same time. Kind of hard, but yeah. Now that I mention it, I'm trying to get WWE 2K19 yet on. I heard that 2K18 was kind of trash and was kind of a disappointment. But I should be able to actually see any improvements made in 2K19. Because as you know me, I'm a huge WWE fan myself, and I really enjoy the actual series. I watched 205 Live, Track SmackDown, NXT, even the Sakara Takeover specials, and Monday Night Raw. I really enjoy the actual IP. And it's one of those favorite series that I usually tend to enjoy. I guess you could say that I'm a huge Disney fanboy of myself. And I guess that when 2K19 comes out, I will play it. But so I'm actually tracking my progress as we are waiting for that title to come out, hopefully. I don't know if you can actually hear the audio from my phone, but it may be bad, but keep in mind, I wear the headsets too. Don't know why, but oh, this is going to be doing well. Now, it's kind of hard to even see where I put the stairs because I think that putting wood was not actually my best attempt. Oh, there they are. You could do anything. You could build anything monumental in out of 54 minutes. And I'm not even surprised. I think we're making good amount of progress. Even though the width is actually expanding, even though nighttime is actually approaching soon, but we're actually doing well. We're doing well. What's also funny is that it's also funny how I haven't done anything for this weekend or this weekday. I'm sorry, try to watch wrestling. Try to watch wrestling and play Fortnite is actually kind of difficult. Of course, I may go on a tangent, but that's just me. Who am I kidding? Kind of funny how some wrestlers will usually go over the top berserk, but you never know. So I think that the whole program mode seems to be average. It's nothing really special about it, and even if you did play with friends, there's nothing monumental about it. The whole problem with the whole program mode is that you usually does play a couple of matches, and it's just nothing really special. Plus the whole free the whole EXP boost week has ended, so I guess it's back to doing challenges. I don't want to add any extra tea so far, but knowing me, I usually take this to some degree